Maria Colwell, the 26th of March 1965 to 6 January 1973, was an English child who was killed by her stepfather in January 1973. The case was widely reported at the time and resulted in a public inquiry. Committee of Inquiry into the Care and Supervision Provided in relation to Maria Colwell. 1974. Report of the Committee of Inquiry into the Care and Supervision Provided by local authorities and other agencies in relation to Maria Colwell and the coordination between them. Chairman T. G. Field Fisher. 40 years after her death, the case of Maria Colwell has remained in collective memory and has often been referred to when similar cases have come to light, such as the death of Victoria Climbié in 2000, Peter Connelly in 2007 and Daniel Pelka in 2012. Maria was one of 6 siblings and is survived by her 3 half-brothers and 2 half-sisters, as well as her foster parents Bob and Doris Cooper, with whom she spent 6 years of her life. Life and death. Maria was born on the 26th of March 1965. When she was a few months old, her father Raymond Colwell died, and as a result Maria and her siblings were all placed in foster care. At 3 months old she was placed with her aunt and uncle, Doris and Bob Cooper. There she was said to be very happy and well looked after. Her situation changed drastically when on the 22nd of October 1971 she returned to live with her biological mother Pauline Keppel and her partner William Keppel on the Whitehawk Council estate in Brighton, England. William Keppel had children of his own with Pauline, and the couple favoured those children over Maria without compunction. For example, Keppel bought his biological children ice cream and required Maria to watch as they ate it, having refused to buy any for her. Many neighbors and teachers communicated concerns to various agencies. Nevertheless, even though she appeared almost a walking skeleton, Maria was allowed to remain with the Keppels and her half-siblings. On the night of the 6th of January 1973, Keppel arrived home at 11:30 p.m. to find Maria still awake and watching television. Her mother, fearing her drunk and violent husband had kept Maria up. Maria refused to acknowledge him upon his return home and he responded violently. He physically assaulted her, leaving her with severe injuries both internal and external. Then he went to bed. The following morning he wheeled Maria in a pram to the Royal Sussex County Hospital in Brighton, with severe internal injuries including brain damage. She died shortly after arrival. Maria had an empty stomach when she died. Both her eyes were blackened and she had a fractured rib. Aftermath. The case captured the public's attention and the press called for action. Despite the publication of a book urging the tragedy not to be forgotten, it took over 30 years before agencies were required by law to guarantee the free flow of information. An inquiry was set up and was chaired by Thomas Gilbert Field Fisher, a recorder of the Crown Court. Other members included Olive Stevenson, a social work academic. The report of the Committee of Inquiry into the Care and Supervision Provided in relation to Maria Colwell identified 3 main contributory factors: the lack of communication between the agencies who were aware of her vulnerable situation, inadequate training for social workers assigned to at-risk children, and changes in the makeup of society. It is not enough for the state as representing society to assume responsibility for those such as Maria. Fisher. Keppel was later found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 8 years in prison. His sentence was halved on appeal, despite the local council commissioning its own response to Fisher's findings. Children at Risk. A study by the East Sussex County Council into the problems revealed by the report of the inquiry into the case of Maria Colwell and repeated, "It must never happen again" press articles. There were several high-profile cases after the Colwell case, such as the cases of Heidi Kozada, Jasmine Beckford, and Tony Ann Byfield before the case of Victoria Climbié finally produced the government legislation known as Every Child Matters.